Hi guys, I'm Yuri and welcome to Carnival and Dem Ting Deh, powered by Culture. And hey Globey!
Hi, I'm Globey.
And today we're talking about Carnival being a safe space. And for those of you that are watching, remember to follow us on Instagram, Culture, and also subscribe on YouTube, Culture. So
Bet.
WIKULCHA, Culture. All right, so we're
Ouchie.
going into our topic, Carnival as a safe space,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
And most of the times when we think about Carnival being a safe space, we only think about ourselves, the women. But we're flipping the conversation at the start here to talk about Carnival being a safe space for men as well. And
Mm-hmm.
Globey, I know you being a veteran carnivalist, would have been observant. And I know you asked some questions on Twitter. So if you could just give us some feedback about Carnival being a
Yeah.
safe space for men.
So it's interesting because a lot of times, again, we always think about women and you just assume the men they're safe and they're fine and nobody has any qualms. So I remember like even having a conversation with you offline and thinking to myself, like, I always see like the gay men who come out and they're some of them more flamboyant than others. And they have the large backpacks and their hot boy shorts or even thongs for some of them. And like we always see women interacting with them and dancing, and everybody looks like they're having a really good time. And I never put into perspective that they might be harassed on the way out, just like we are, right? We just don't see it as obvious because it's so normal for us at this point. So I was like, I wonder if they feel some type of way when they're not able to dance with their partners on the road because that's an open form of expression in front of other men that might be hetero, well, I guess kind of biased against the hetero community. And then like the church people that is be preaching to us in the first place, like how they might interact with that. And then like if men are bullying them or if women are bullying them or saying nasty things to them, if they are not making it feel like it's a comfortable space for them. And I've never thought about that perspective because again, it's carnival. We always just assume everybody's happy go lucky and or we believe that everybody has the same perspective like we do, because like when I see anybody of any gender, I'm like, oh my god, we want to have a really good time, your outfit is so beautiful, like I want pictures, I live in my best life and I go. But for some, I can only imagine like that walk back to the maxi when you finish carnival, like what that might sound like, especially because no, darkness has fallen, right? Or what
Yeah.
it's like if you do want to have an interaction with your partner, you touch your partner in a way that to the outside is seen as too sexual, what they might say to you. And that's something that I would love to talk to somebody who might have experienced it, because it's just for me observing from a standpoint. I don't know if you've ever happened to see that for yourself.
I so going back to the three main carnivals that I've actively participated in,
Mm-hmm.
which would have been Jamaica Carnival, St. Kitts Carnival, and Antigua Carnival, I think
Mm-hmm.
I observed a lot more of the gay community in Jamaica and St. Kitts,
Mm-hmm.
and they just seem to be having a good time. But I did observe that they don't dance with each other. They would dance with another
No, and that would be,
female.
I wish it would be cool that they could, but we know where we are now. And that's what I realized. It's like, okay, imagine if for me or for you, you come out with your man, and let's say your man, for all intents purposes, is Quasimodo. So you embarrassed by Quasimodo, right? But it's like that's your man. Like you want to dance with your man, but you just don't want anybody saying anything to you, right? And I think that's the same thing. Like imagine loving somebody and that's your partner, and you have to pretend to be straight or at least avoid him because you want to avoid confrontation. Like as a society, we're just not there yet. I know we're
Yeah.
not there yet because people say things just for them having backpacks. So imagine an outward expression of that love or that partnership.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
it's so weird to see it because I'm just like, you're already this, because I'm seeing the makeup, they go all out,
Right.
they do the
The
makeup, they
beat,
do the
honey, the beat is
everything.
like, even that I wonder if people say anything about the makeup. I actually have a friend from Barbados who like his makeup is always down to the nines. I love him. And I wonder if people say anything to him or make him feel uncomfortable, because it's not like he's trying to hide that he's a male. He's not trans, right? He just has his beat and he'll still have his beard is laid out and his hair is well done or whatever. So he's obviously a man. He's not trying to dress otherwise either. And I'm just like, I wonder what that's like for him. And even to a certain thing that we have to respect is how much confidence it takes to come out knowing that you know people might harass you, right? Like,
Yes.
so I wonder how Carnival feels for them, and if they deem it as a safe space, or if it's something that you just chuck it up like, well, I'm gonna have to deal with this today. Kind of like us. Like, I know as a woman, as much as we're familiar with women wearing thongs or pasties or whatever in the street, I know part of the course is dealing with men saying things to me, women looking stank, a man trying to grab me, but it's like you just know that that's part of it, although it's not okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. I feel like I've seen, especially in St. Kitts, I didn't expect it because
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming from a small island going to another small island. And I know what the climate is like here. So when I went there and I saw a lot of more liberal freeness, having on the makeup and stuff, I
In
started to
St.
watch
Kitts.
in St. Kitts,
Ah,
I started
okay.
to watch the crowds.
Mm-hmm.
I I was playing with Ultra, big up Ultra, plug.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the crowds and I saw, I guess they've been doing it for a while, so some people were just like, "Oh, here they again, here the
Ah,
flamboyance
okay.
again." So I saw that
Gotcha.
facial expression.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them took it for what it is. It's just like men looking very
This is
beautiful,
part
and
of it.
some,
Yeah.
yeah, they were just like, "Oh wow, he looks nice." You know, some of them took pictures with them, but I saw
Yeah.
like the mixed facial reactions.
Expressions. Yeah.
Yeah, opposed to Jamaica, which it's not so much of a a showcase carnival. You don't see a lot of people standing on the side of the road for a good majority of
That's
the
true.
route. It's
That's
more of,
actually true. It's really just all masqueraders. You're absolutely
yeah.
right. But the when I've seen gay men in Jamaica, they tend to brook out a little bit more. Who on the
Mm,
fence, who
mm.
leg who leg on side of the truck, who on the side of the truck. And I think even like when by the time we passed by Big Wall, like the first time I was like,
Yes.
it's a show, but not because they were gay men, just because I didn't expect such a brook out, right? Like I was like, all
Yes.
right, this is lit. This was in 2015 when I went for the first time. So that's when it was just back on Jamaica. So everybody was in the same band. And I'm like, this is amazing. This is really dope. Like in Trinidad, you don't see that. Everybody's like, you come, we getting ready for mass, you getting ready to cross the stage, and you just see more pictures than a full out brook out.
Yeah.
Which is amazing to see. But I wonder if beyond that, or even when people are watching the Brockout, if it was, oh my God, there they go again, why they had to behave so that, why we don't like Carnival here, blah, 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 because those things get associated with Carnival. Or was it like, hey, this is such an amazing time for people to express themselves, right? Like, and
Yeah.
I think as the generation shifts and we get older and then we start having kids, I hope that there's a shift towards that expression where it's, hey, everybody's getting to express themselves.
Exactly, and having a good time. So
Yeah.
that's a very interesting. I did not think about it at all. Did not think
Mm-hmm.
about, as you said, you just think men are okay, they can handle themselves, but their issues, their problems, and
Mm-hmm.
we have to check on our men, our black men, the ones that need our help. But then we go into us. And
Mm-hmm.
well, not just, before we even go into us, we have to talk about, as I said earlier, guys wearing makeup and everything, just the fluidity of carnival in terms of gender or sex.
Mm-hmm.
How it allows you to be anybody at a given point in time. If
Mm-hmm.
a woman wants to be, um, she doesn't want to be assigned a gender, she just wants to be a character. On this given day,
Mm-hmm.
she
And
can be
she's
given
able to do
that.
that. Yeah.
If a very conservative person wants to wear a piece of string up in their bottom for a day, that's it. Like, nobody judging them. But
Mm-hmm.
we're still being judged. It's
I was gonna
weird.
say, there's still people judging you because it's interesting
Yeah.
how like I'll see both sides of the coin. It's like, oh my God, I can't wait to wear my thong, da 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 da. But let that person who is now watching you, it's like, well, the thong is one part, but okay, that other part of the outfit is doing too much. So it's interesting, wrapped into the freedom, there's still a lot of judgment there. And even amongst like our generation, I can't even blame the older people for doing that because I've heard the comments, right? So it's like, how can you want to kind of be in a space where you embrace body positivity and you embrace people being free to, like free and sexual freedom, but then at the same time you being judgmental? I think we all need to be cognizant about these thoughts and how we view people. Like your body positivity might look completely different from somebody else's. You know, like we all don't have the same level of confidence in our bodies. We all don't want to necessarily wear the same thing. I might be a nun Monday to whatever day, and then Sunday when I come out, I want to wear a thong. That's my prerogative at the end of the day. Like once you're being safe and taking care of yourself, and it's not like it's a overt sexual thing where you're trying to make other people uncomfortable, I don't see the issue with it. And other people still do. Sadly, this is where we
Sadly,
still are. Yeah, sadly,
yeah.
this is where we still are.
Because as we look at, because for me, carnival is expression for me. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, I want the big feathers, I want the wire bra, like I'm gonna look hotter than hot than hot than hot
Mm-hmm.
on that particular day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
don't short me anything of hotness, you know.
Facts.
Whereas to other women, same, you know, category women, some of them wanna just not be seen. So a lot of them go into like the more costume segment of
Right, the
carnival. So they look at
traditional costumes.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
Makajumbi and the,
yeah,
you know, Highlanders, and they express themselves in that way.
right.
Same as the men. Some very, I mean, you know, we've, you know, the men on the border that haven't made up their mind. They can
Mm-hmm.
be whatever they want to be on that given day. You
Mm-hmm.
know, whatever anybody wants to be, they can be. And I think we just have to be cognizant of just respecting each other's space, even the people being who they want to be on a given day, and even the people just observing, because I feel like we have to look at it on both sides,
On
as you
both
said.
sides, yeah. Like, so I would say, like, as the person who is not a spectator, we are the masqueraders, you also need to be cognizant about how you're behaving in front of a spectator, right? Like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't come and grind my crotch in front of you on a fence, but at the same time, if I grind my crotch on the side of the truck, I don't see how that's impacting you or you being so judgmental about it.
yeah.
um but like, I remember, for example, just talking about body positivity, when bikini masks kind of first became a thing. Oh my God, the older generation was like, it's just string and it's bra and all you're just naked and da 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 da. Listen, if you're still young and your body intact, or even if you old and your body intact, once you look in a mirror and you feel confident, wear whatever you want. Like, I just don't understand the whole pushback against when we had bikini mask and all the other things. I am all for a string costume, like the long sleeve Dame Lorraine thing. That doesn't do anything for me. Not that it's not a part of carnival. It just, that's not my way of expressing myself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So yes, this is where we are. This is where we are in 2020.
Yeah, and we also have to look at women not feeling safe in whatever
Okay.
they're wearing during
Right.
carnival.
Right.
The same way we have to think about men being bullied by, you know, women, straight men,
Right.
well, you know, whatever the case is. We have to look at women in ourselves. And interesting enough, before we even started to record, you were telling me that a woman brought up the idea that it depends on the way the carnival you may feel
Mm-hmm.
safer or not, and
Mm-hmm.
I did not think about that
Not
at
even think
all.
about that. Yeah. So the feedback basically is that, depending on the origin of the carnival. So if it's and I don't want to say imported carnival, but if it's a carnival where traditionally it's not the home of the place. So think of places like Notting Hill Carnival, Miami Carnival, New York's Carnival, Toronto's Carnival, any place where it's a committee putting it on and the residents of that place is not familiar, the level of safety for the masqueraders, from what was expressed to me, diminishes, because now you have men and or women who are not familiar with why you're celebrating, what the purpose of this is, why is a string panty in your backside versus you actually having on a like clothes, why there's a float, like so many different type of things. And I can only imagine, like, having played mass in Toronto, Miami, and New York by now, I can only imagine the interaction with somebody who's not familiar at all. And then it's like, it seems like a free for all. Like, there's so many Bamsi outside, they're pretty, then they're whining in what could be, or dancing in what could be deemed as sexual behavior. And so that's when the inappropriate, like, it's inappropriate. And the way they handle it becomes inappropriate. Because I just get grabbed in New York on a regular Thursday, right? So just imagine, like, on a regular Thursday, I get grabbed. So just imagine not having on what they see as clothes on a regular Thursday and they grabbing you. So a lot of
Yeah.
people express that that's how they feel. Notting Hill was a big one that kept being brought up. that the women just don't feel safe there. Toronto as well. But those are also the carnivals that have bigger stormer problems. The ones who have less masqueraders, like the stormer to, or I should say spectator to masquerader ratio is very small, or much bigger, I should say. The safety element decreased for the women there.
Because
Yeah.
I've been, funny enough, I have a lot of people that are living in the UK that would have attended. This is Caribbean people attending Notting Hill
Mm-hmm.
Carnival, and they would take pictures. I actually have a great friend who she participates in it, and she was explaining the concept of Notting Hill Carnival to me, and I was flabbergasted because I was just
Okay, well,
like,
explain it to us. Go ahead.
because basically what she explained to me was they all are part of these different bands and it's one
Okay.
long parade, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can still join. So some years she decides not even to go with a band. Sometimes she can just go on the side
So
and
you can
storm.
join without paying, you're saying?
Yes, you can just join the band.
Okay.
Now obviously you don't get the amenities of the band, you don't get the drinks or
Right,
whatever,
but
but
anybody
this,
can dance, is what you're
yeah.
saying. Okay. Okay.
So a lot
So
of
then they
them
don't
would
see
have
them as
gone.
stormers then.
I don't think so. I think they think they're
If you're
part of the.
allowed to join, right? If you're allowed to join, you're not a stormer. I guess you're just a spectator that decides to now come and dance. So for those watching, a stormer is someone who did not register with a particular band and they are still participating against the band's policies on the road. So if you are not registered, that means you don't have a wristband. You're not allowed to be in there mixed with masqueraders. You shouldn't be trying to steal drinks and or food or get shade or participate in any of the amenities. So if they're
Mhm.
just spectators, who are the people who are onlookers, the obvious term, then I guess that's a completely different setup. I don't know any carnival now that's like that.
Yeah, I seen it because I see all of them
Oh, you see the
because
crowd, yeah.
yeah, you see the crowd,
But
and
I
then
just
I've
assume it
actually
was people storming.
well, I'm still considering it storming because I think it's still. I mean, granted, if the band tries to kick them out or not, and I think sometimes it's not a case where the band does not does want them in the band. I think the crowd is so massive and so pressing that they
Mm-hmm.
cannot have enough security to keep them out. I think
Mm.
that's the case because I've actively seen groups of friends not sign up with bands for Notting Hill Carnival, actively get dressed and participate. And I'm just
They had on
like,
that stormer costume, didn't they?
some of them have, yeah, they make their
The
own
stormer
things.
costume, I was just gonna say, the stormer costume is either A, where they make their own costume and it just look like it falling apart, or two, the little denim shorts with a tank top and
Yes,
they sweaty and they have a flag. Where are you? Like,
yes,
just, you know what? I don't know why you say Globey say, but ja, just pay a little $200 now, please. Like it'll literally take your experience from 0 to 1,000, and then you will understand why we go so hard for Carnival and why we love it so much. Like I think stormers don't realize they're literally stealing from the experience of a masquerader. That like
yeah.
that you're infringing on that. You are infringing on my space, and you don't have respect for the feathers, so you mashing that up. Anyway, we're not talking about stormers today. We're talking about Caribbean Carnival. I was about to go off. Like, just register, please. Please. Like that, just register,
It's
please.
so annoying. I know in the
It
old
is.
days, I know when I was younger and I went to Juve and Carnival, you jump up in the band at a corner. Like if the band stops
Yeah,
at a
you
corner, you
went
jump
and
in.
then you take a little chip and you go, but you're not
Oh,
there. Like, is
in the
I think
band.
what has killed me, right? So you've never just we don't want to stay on this topic too long, but I just
Yeah.
have my one little comment. So when I went to Toronto the first time, it wasn't that bad, but I think the second or third year, because I've done 4 years now in Toronto's Carnival. But the second year when I went, and it's like this storm was moving like they pay and I ain't pay. I said, nah, y'all like they were handing out water, well, because it's a dry carnival, they don't have liquor or whatever at that time. The
Mhm.
water handing out, you in front of me, I ain't see no costume, no wristband, no like I can't get jiggy with that. I can't. At least pretend to let me go first now and say, all
Yeah.
right, look, go get your water. And if it have extra, I ain't mind you get. But that for me, like once you acting like it's your space you're absorbing, I have a problem with that. Because you didn't pay to have this experience. We did. You know,
Yeah.
like it, it just doesn't make any sense. But
Ah.
yeah, so that is the general consensus that depending on where the carnival is, women feel more or less safe. They have it's so minor sometimes that you hear a story where something happens to a woman that
Mhm.
when it does happen, it becomes big news. Like I don't know if you remember, there was one year in Trinidad where this Japanese woman had gotten killed in Savannah Park. Right, look at your face in Savannah Park, and that was such a big thing. Like Japan had put a travel alert warning on Trinidad, or because that's usually not something that you hear about. Like everybody is kind of in the understanding that we're getting drunk, we're having a good time, but nobody like it's rare that you'll hear like somebody got raped and killed. It's like raped and killed? Wow. Even that gave me pause because I was there that year and it's like, I in my normal joyous living self and it really took me aback and made me think like sometimes even though we're all having fun, we need to be aware of like our space and how we're moving and make sure you leave in with a friend to go in the bathroom. If it's dark, don't think it's a free for all trying to go pee down the block by yourself. Like all of those things I think we need to be cognizant about, even though carnival always seems for the most part to go pretty well and
Yeah.
nothing happens.
Yikes. You
Yeah.
slapped me.
Yeah, I know
Ah.
that. No, that year that gave me pause. I was like, because for any woman or even any man, but for mostly for women, I think that experience made me realize how, I guess, one, how precious human life is. Like, yes, you know that, but you're not thinking that somebody's even being that malicious. Like, it's Carnival Tuesday at that, which was the height, right? Like, everybody in costume, we live in our best life. So, for you to be on murder/rape time, like, I think that gave me pause. And then it made me like I was already always paranoid, like with my friends and at least one person kind of like off alternating between who gets drunk so that somebody's kind of paying attention to what's going on. But like it even gave me pause. Just like I ain't even trying to get drunk for like just a little buzz and I good because I want to be cognizant at all times because it's not a free for all just because we out here having a good time, and that's what that
Yeah.
reminded me of. So that one is always in my head for the most part. You always hear about the people that might get hit by a truck or those other things, but rape and murder,
Mm.
that was yeah. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
So
feel like um playing mass playing mass home and in indigenous countries that carnival is indigenous too.
mm-hmm.
I Most I have to worry about is who whining on me like I can't,
Right, because people,
yeah, it's like not you.
people. Well, that is another element to the safety. Me and when people woman coming behind us. So if you're not supposed to be here taking no criminal wife, please move. Please, I want no problems. Please move.
Yes,
So that's
that's the
another element
most
of safety I have to think about. Me not having to
the,
fight nobody. The
I've
people vex
never
for the
had
van.
to like I have just had to the most I've had to do is like move or tell a guy, yo, chill. If I
Yeah,
realize he's a little persistent, but like fight
yeah,
a man because he's aggressive with
yeah.
me,
That's
or
not
I
a
never had to
thing.
worry about that.
Yeah, usually if we say no, like no, they'll leave you alone. Like all right, and they'll still even compliment you. Like all right, sweet, you looking good in your costume and
Yeah,
go
and
on.
just go
I'm
to somebody else.
not right. Like all right, bye. Here, yeah, please. Time you say no, it's all kind of suck you something. And who's a mother effer? And I like all I did was say no. Like my back hurt. I don't feel like dancing right now.
Yes. Oh my
Yes, I'd be
goodness.
stressed like that. I hate that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's so many women. I think as well, men here know
Hmm.
if she not gonna give me a dance, she gonna give
The
me a
next
dance.
one,
Somebody
exactly,
going to, like it's gonna be
exactly.
okay.
Right.
You
Miss one,
know?
next 15, another one. It has so much bamsi outside. Like I cannot imagine you to be more upset with me because I tell you no. And sometimes it's not even out of rejection. Like Carnival's so hot and you're outside all like for the whole day. You could be drunk, you could be tired, your foot could be hurting you because 10 people step on it, your feathers could be falling apart, so you sad, your bra could be falling out, so you in distress, your panty might like unsnap, so that's why you don't want to whine. And people need to think about that. Like sometimes it's not purely rejection out of you, like it has nothing to do with you. It can be
Yeah,
several
sometimes.
other reasons, right? Like I just
Yeah.
gonna all if I whine and I always wear heels on the road. Like y'all know that. So if I've been
Mhm.
whining for 3 hours and by the time you come, I tell you no. Likely I say no, cause my feet hurting me. It's not about you. Or I need a
Exactly.
break or what. It has nothing to do with you.
or the song is just
But
not a song you want to dance to,
right,
like
I don't like this
stuff.
song, bro. I don't want to. It's not my
Exactly.
jam. Come back.
You have to. There's so much to think about. There's so much to consider, and you
Yeah.
know, Carnival is supposed to be one of those experiences where everybody is free and you're forgetting
Mhm.
about your stress. You have bills on top of bills to pay. You're not thinking about it that day. Your man burning you. You're not thinking about that day. Like, you're not thinking about anything else but you having a good time,
Good
having
time, yeah.
whatever drinks. If you want to have drinks, because I've had fun with Carnival, no alcohol at all. Like,
Yeah.
just
Carnival is lit no
release.
matter what. Yeah. I think sometimes just watching other people have a good time, it's like,
It's so,
wow, y'all are like
yeah.
having an amazing time. And it's almost like a transference of that energy. Like y'all look so good. You're having such a good time. Like I love it here. And
Yes.
that's all it is for me sometimes. But back to our safety topic too. Now I just thought of like if we bring back in the men and not being able to dance with their partners, it's interesting how women, like I'm able to whine on you, Yuri, with no problem. Nobody would even bat an eye. Nobody would say it's two lesbians, like nothing.
Nothing.
So I
Yeah.
wonder how women, like if they are I don't know the correct term these days, if they are more male dominant in how they in how they dress. I think, is it a stud? Is that what they say?
A dom, I think.
Is it a
But
dog? Girl, I don't know. I never got
I'm not
pretend to know.
sure. And
If
we do
y'all watching, you can
apologize.
just correct. We apologize
Yeah.
now because I'm really not sure about the term. You can even tell us in the comments. But like, if you are more male appearing, I guess, and dominant in how you dress, or you might have shorts on for your costume. Because I have seen some women do that. Like, they will register for a male's costume. They'll have the male pants on and a tank top or whatever. Even if one of them are dancing with their girlfriends, it's not seen with the same disdain as if it's a male. And for the most part, predominantly, I tend to dance on women because if I have a man, like I don't want no kind of mix up, or sometimes it's just easier for me to dance on girls and just go my
Yes.
way, just because I don't have to deal with any awkwardness, nobody not getting hard on my back, like none of those things, and I can just dance and go my I can just dance and go my business. I'm like, all right, Babsy, bye. Like I had a good time. See you later.
Mhm.
Whereas if it's a man, sometimes maybe they might want to hold you up and ask for a number or whatever situation. So,
Yes. Mm.
yeah, I'm
We know
more
that
open
struggle.
to, yes, we all know that struggle. So I'm definitely more open to dancing with women. But it's interesting that that aspect of our sexuality is never questioned when it's a woman. You just assume it's girls having fun.
Hmm.
Always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I was thinking about that when we were talking about men dancing on men earlier, because I have friends that are, gay, and they identify more with a masculine energy, and that's what they put across.
Mm-hmm.
And they dress very masculine. They wear their
Mm-hmm.
male costumes,
Mm-hmm.
they wear their vests, and everybody's having a good. Some of these same male type women dance with straight men.
Men, yes. I've actually seen that too.
Yes.
I've actually seen that too. Maybe they'll
So
just
it's so
get best of both
interesting.
worlds. Like, right, they get
Yes.
to have the some of them if they want to. They get to have the best of both worlds, but um the men don't. But that even plays into how society sees sexuality now. Like, if you cheat on your man with a woman, he more likely to forgive you than if you give him bun with a man, right? It's like
Yeah.
you making another man come. But if it's a girl, it's like, okay, well, maybe it was a slip up, or we're more open to women having sexual experiences with other women when it's like in college or whatever. But as soon as it's two men, it's a completely different dynamic. So I think
Mm-hmm.
that same energy and thought process transfers over when we look at safety and sexuality in Carnival. I will say, like, I've seen an uptick now in a lot more gay men being more flamboyant, and I love that. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's the one time, like, especially if you like the modelly type and how they be doing the Vogue. Oh my God, I wish I could do that Vogue dance where they snap back.
Yes.
Girl, I live. So I love to see that. Like, we need more. I think we need more gay and again, don't know in terms of more like homosexual expressions in Carnival, because the more normalized it becomes, though we hate that word normalized, but the more often we see it, I think the less reaction, like, or less disgust people will express or disdain once they see it. Yeah, so I think overall, like the way we view sexuality when it's like male to male expression or male to male interactions, we always have an issue. But as soon as like it's women, like we don't really judge for that. Like, you're more open to women being bisexual and or sexually expression things between them, or even dancing, kissing, whatever, like that tends to be cheered on more so than it's when two males. And I feel like that transfers over to Carnival when we're looking at the safety and or sexual expression of anybody in Carnival. So
Yeah, so that's definitely, a thing. Do you think that we'll ever I mean,
I don't think
we can look at
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. The world, we have
yeah,
so
I don't
much
know.
changing to do in the world. So many things that we are learning and bad habits that we're unlearning. Like none of us are perfect. So I do extend grace to people who sometimes, as long as you're not like outwardly bullying and or trying to abuse anybody, I think we should all be extended grace, because we have to unlearn a lot of these things that we ourselves are taught. Like if you grew up in a household that's like extremely Christian or whatever, otherwise, some things are, you need to unlearn those things like that you were taught. So I think we just need to extend grace, give a little patience, and let people enjoy themselves. If they in their pasties, let them live their life. If he in his hot shots, let him live his life. Like it has nothing to do with you. Like we pump in.
And I don't know who needs to hear this, but gayness is not transferred by contact.
It's not, right? It's not by you looking by them, at them, nothing. You're not going to be gay if they look at you. Oh God, Gil, if we even go down the list of the things that straight men think are gay. Oh, anyway, the list. The other day I heard somebody, well, I didn't hear, but DJ Gel actually was recapping some of it and saying that somebody said they thought listening to soca was gay. I said, excuse, good night. And on that note, goodbye. On that note,
look, like a lot of straight men have some unlearning to do in general.
They do.
And they just pass it on to
their
Carnival and their
children, to
different
their
experiences
children.
and everything.
Yeah.
Because talking about your feelings apparently is gay as well. Like
everything. Being affectionate is gay. Showing up for your man is gay. If you help me take out my braids, that gay. I thought being gay was attraction and sexual interaction with other men. I didn't think it was thinking certain things or doing certain things. But anyway, we have a lot of unlearning to do. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, but that came to the end of our second episode.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Again, we were talking about Carnival being a safe space for not just women, but men as well. And people from whatever they identify, trans, gay, lesbians, asexual, whatever they identify
binary,
as.
non-binary.
Yes.
Pansexuals, everybody.
Exactly. It's a space for you to be free, to enjoy yourself, let go your stress, whatever your stress may be. It's just that time where you just, like, I don't know, every time somebody asks me to explain what Carnival is and the feeling that we get and the
euphoria.
rush.
Literal euphoria. I cannot explain it as anything else. It's just euphoria. You have to register for you to find out what the euphoria feels like. That's all we know. So we hope to see you at the next Carnival expressing yourself.
Yes. Thank you so much, Globey. And remember, this was Carnival and Dem Ting Deh, powered by We Culture. Remember to follow us on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. So every time an episode drops, you get it.
Facts. And I don't got to bully y'all to go watch it.
Yes.
Okay, bye.
Wait, your handle for those of you.
At Global Carnivalist.
On
I'll be like, I'm not on Instagram. I'm at Global Carnivalist if you want to follow me.
Yes. And I'm Yorie Taylor. Thank you so much. Have a great one.